Hello, world history students. This is a quick video about how to do the Gupta project for those of you guys who are not in class, or even for some of those who were in class. So the first slide does tell you, once you've downloaded it, in pretty clear ways what it is you're supposed to do, but I'll walk you through it really quickly. If you're in the groups, the in-person groups that'll come in Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, Friday, I'll be able to explain this to you. If you are working in cohort C, or the people staying at home all the time, fully remote, if you're in the green group, you do these instructions, blue and red, obviously these other instructions. And so it tells you which slides you have to do here. And I have color code, so that's your instructions. The next slide is kind of an overview of the whole bit, what you're supposed to do, and this is the prompt. So you're supposed to analyze the success of the Gupta Empire. So how successful were they? Obviously they were pretty successful because they had an empire, but you can talk about the various ways in which they are successful, or if they were unsuccessful in some particular way. So this is your prompt to answer. And then if you're doing this alone, you will not have to do A1. So that one you can just skip because you can see all the individual people. You're skipping that one. If you're in a group, this is the historical background, or what's called the context. So in your group, so this will be done as a team, or you can have someone do this and you can all check them. What was going on outside of the Gupta Empire while the Gupta Empire was doing its thing. So this is like the background, the historical situation in which the Gupta Empire lived, but not about the Gupta Empire. It's kind of how you start an essay often in a history class. And then if you're in the groups, or if you are in any of these individual groups, you're also going to write a thesis statement about the success of the Gupta Empire. I would do this last because you'll want to do your research and your paragraphy stuff first, so you'll know what your thesis is going to be. But if you're in a group or individual, you'll have to write a thesis that will match the stuff you do in the later slides. And then, as you can see, there is a series of slides that are labeled B, and there are 6 B slides plus a rubric for B, and then 6 C slides and things like that. So for each of the groups, and this is something that if you're doing it individually, if you're in the green group, you'll do 2 of the groups, any 2 you choose. And if you are in the red or blue groups, you'll do any one of these 3 groups, but you'll only do 1 of the paragraph slide groups. So let's say you're doing, I don't know, B for now. Like a normal paragraph, you'll need a topic sentence eventually. And I would actually do this after you're done doing the research part, but you will need a topic sentence. What's this paragraph about? And obviously it's going to be about political success, and with the Gupta Empire, so you just need a sentence explaining that. And then you have some evidence that we actually gave you, so you don't need to do your own research. We literally just gave you the research. You don't have to quote anything. And so you read this and figure out what does this have to say about the success of the Gupta in terms of their political situation. The next slide is where you actually do your writing. So here you'll write what this slide means about success. So this is like in a paragraph when you're analyzing your evidence. So you just write a couple of sentences explaining what this quote actually shows about Gupta success. And then the second piece of evidence you get to choose from. And so you only have to do one of these. You can choose the everyone one. You can choose, if you're in the green group, the green one. You can choose the blue and the red one if you're in the blue and red group. So basically anyone can use the everyone one, or you should stick to your color group on these ones because it'll be level appropriate. So you pick one of these to do, read it, figure out what it means. And again, you don't have to quote it or do anything with it. You just study it. And then you write a little bit of analysis about it. So if you feel like you like it, you can quote something out of this and then analyze it here, or you can just explain what this slide stuff, the things that you opened up, these links, meant. So it's basically more evidence analysis. And then probably if you've done these 2 slides, your 2 evidence analysis slides, then you can go back and write a fully good topic sentence and also a paragraph conclusion sentence if this were a paragraph. So that would be, these slides here would be together basically the bones of a paragraph if you were actually writing an essay. All right? So each student will do one of these unless you're in the green group in cohort C, in which case you do 2 of the paragraph sections. And then this rubric thing is where I'll grade you. So this is what you want to make sure you've done. And then another student, or mostly another student, will do this one about literature, and there's basically 4 of those. All right, and then the very last thing you'll do if you're in groups, or if you are in cohort C and in the green group, is you'll write a conclusion paragraph. So having looked at all this stuff that you guys did, what does it all add up to, and how does it prove the thesis? And if you're in the groups, because you're in class, then you guys will sit around and talk and figure out, like, okay, what should be in our conclusion paragraph? How do we encapsulate everything that we studied and restate our thesis? All right, and then I grade your group stuff down here, and then I add that to your individual grade for your total score. All right, so that is how to do the Gupta Empire essay. I hope that was helpful. Thanks, bye.